Kyle Busch could not even get a proper send-off without the weather intervening, and somehow that felt like the most NASCAR thing that has ever happened. Friday night at Charlotte Motor Speedway was supposed to be the first on-track tribute to Kyle Busch since his death Thursday. The trucks were lined up, the tributes were ready, the moment of silence had already brought grown men to tears in the garage, and then the skies opened up. Practice and qualifying for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series had already been wiped out earlier in the day because of rain. Truck Busch was supposed to drive the number 7 SPORTSWIRE Motorsports entry, was draped in Kyle Busch Motorsports logos, in position to lead the field to the green flag as a tribute. Corey Day took over behind the wheel. After an emotional pre-race ceremony, NASCAR attempted to get laps completed before another weather system moved in. They failed. Not a single lap was completed. The race was officially postponed shortly after 7 o'clock Eastern Time and rescheduled for Saturday morning at 8, airing on Fox Sports 1. To understand why Friday night carried so much weight, you have to understand what that number 7 truck represented. Kyle Busch was not just a Cup Series champion, his fingerprints are all over the Truck Series. He founded Kyle Busch Motorsports in 2010 and turned it into one of the most successful developmental programs in NASCAR history. Drivers who came through his organization, including John Hunter Nemechekun, credit Busch directly for helping shape their careers. For Busch, the Truck Series was personal in a way that went far beyond competition. The decision to place his truck at the front of the field was not simply ceremonial. It was NASCAR acknowledging that the man who dominated this series more than anyone deserved to lead one more time, even in absence. The pre-race ceremony reflected that weight. Moments of silence, team tributes, fans in the stands holding their own memorial signs. By all accounts, it was a genuinely emotional scene before a single engine even turned over. And then the rain came. This also arrives during what has become a brutal stretch for the sport. Greg Biffle's death in a plane crash last December. Now this. Charlotte this weekend was supposed to be where the NASCAR community could begin to exhale. Instead, Mother Nature would not even allow them that. Now, the postponement creates a difficult logistical situation for everyone involved. The Truck Series race moves to Saturday morning at 8, directly ahead of O'Reilly Auto Parts Series practice and qualifying. That creates a compressed schedule with very little margin for error. And if rain returns Saturday, which remains a real possibility, the entire weekend schedule could be disrupted before Sunday's Coca-Cola 600. There is also added pressure on drivers competing across all 3 series this weekend, including Ross Chastain and Connor Zilisch. That workload is already physically and mentally demanding under normal conditions. Now add an emotional tribute weekend and a compacted schedule, and the challenge becomes even greater. Connor Zilisch in particular will be worth watching. He is young, talented, and still building his Cup Series experience. How he handles the emotion, attention, and schedule this weekend could say a great deal about his maturity as a driver. And then there is Corey Day in the number 7 truck. Day did not expect to step into this situation under these circumstances. Every camera in the garage will be focused on that truck. That creates a unique kind of pressure that has very little to do with race strategy. When the green flag finally drops, the front row will feature Corey Day alongside Layne Riggs, with Kaden Honeycutt, Ty Majeski, and Brandon Jones rounding out the top 5 starters. Riggs and Honeycutt are both names to watch this weekend. But on Saturday morning, the focus will remain on that number 7 truck and what it represents. The response from fans Friday night said everything. When NASCAR officially postponed the race and the trucks returned to pit road, many fans stayed in the grandstands. Drivers climbed out of their trucks and shared stories about Busch during the delay. What began as a rain postponement turned into something much closer to a memorial gathering inside the garage area. That does not happen by accident. It happens when a sport is genuinely grieving and the people inside it choose to lean into that moment rather than rush past it. On social media, reactions were split between frustration over the weather and appreciation for the tribute itself. Most fans understood that the rain was unavoidable, but many also expressed how important it was to finally see that number 7 truck take the green flag in Busch's honor. That image mattered to people. Now there are 2 ways Saturday could unfold. Best case, the weather clears, the Truck Series race runs Saturday morning without additional delays, and Corey Day delivers a clean, competitive performance in the tribute truck. The ceremony lands exactly as NASCAR intended. The field race is hard, the crowd responds, and Charlotte finally finds the emotional footing it has been searching for all weekend. That would set the stage for one of the most meaningful Coca-Cola 600s in recent memory. Worst case, more rain arrives Saturday morning, additional delays pile up, and the compressed timeline creates chaos across the garage. Teams running multiple series could face significant logistical challenges. And the trivia weekend NASCAR needed to get right risks becoming overshadowed by scheduling problems instead of the legacy he was meant to honor. This weekend, the forecast may matter more than pit strategy. Kyle Busch spent 2 decades defying the odds, the critics, and the competition. He raced in conditions others avoided. He competed in series many overlooked, and he finished his career with 234 victories. Friday night, even the weather could not stop the tribute. It only delayed it. That number 7 truck will eventually take the green flag at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And when it does, everyone in those grandstands will understand exactly what it means. Here is the question for viewers today. When that truck finally rolls onto the track Saturday morning in a race Kyle Busch was supposed to lead, what do you want to see happen? And how should NASCAR permanently honor his legacy going forward? Let us know in the comments below, and subscribe to SPORTSWIRE USA for continuing coverage all weekend long as Charlotte honors one of the greatest drivers the sport has ever seen.